Most parents want their kids to reach adulthood with more skills and more confidence than they had. And one of the most powerful ways that growth is hiding in plain sight is in the kitchen. The kitchen is one of the only places in our home where learning happens naturally at every age. Toddlers build fine motor and balance skills as they dump and pour. Preschoolers grow vocabulary and matching skills. Elementary kids apply reading and math. Preteens learn about tools, temperature, and presentation. Teens practice problem solving, timing, substitutions, meal prep, budgeting. And adults? Well, we're still learning about planning, flavor pairing, and how to make food work for real life. But the kitchen isn't just about food and skill building. It's about connection. Some of the most meaningful conversations happen while hands are busy, pulling grapes off stems, chopping and stirring, and whatever else. That's often when kids will open up about their friendships, their worries, their day, their imagination. The kitchen becomes the heart of the home. And in this episode, I'm joined by Misa, who helps families navigate the kitchen in a way that builds skills and relationships, especially when picky eating is part of the story. We talk about how to move beyond power struggles and how to invite kids into the kitchen without pressure, and how to grow communication, confidence, and nutrition together. And even if picky eating isn't your main concern, this conversation will help you see how the kitchen can become a place of connection for every member of your family. I think you will gain a lot from this episode, and I'm glad you're here. Does your child have a speech-language delay and you really want them to talk? Do difficult behaviors derail home life and you know the frustration is a communication struggle? Does your child see a speech therapist and you wonder, what do they do and how can I help? If these or similar questions are in your mind, this podcast is for you. Hello, my name is Dina Lynn Rosenbusch. I am a speech-language pathologist that has worked with children from birth to 21 for 3 decades. And in my classrooms, I see you wanting to connect with the heart of your child, but their speech and language skills create a barrier. So if you have a kiddo that has difficult behaviors, needs to expand their language or learn to say speech sounds, and maybe even receives speech therapy, stay tuned. Because in this podcast, you will learn how to use your daily life as a tool to communication practice and how to do that practice. You will become confident knowing you are making the difference you want to make. And you will hear success stories of parents who have navigated these struggles already. We'll do this all while focusing on building deep, meaningful connection and confidence in your kiddo. So grab a cup of coffee along with a notebook and pen. It's time to speak in the way your child's brain understands. And that is the language of play. Welcome back and Happy New Year. As we begin, I want to thank the countries where the language of play has rated on their top podcast charts. I haven't done this for a while again, and I popped into Podgagement to take a look at it, and it's just always so encouraging and so fun. So I wanted to share that with you. So this week, it's updated each few hours, and so as of the moment of this recording, the language of play is on the top podcast charts in Slovenia, New Zealand, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Russia, Taiwan, Iceland, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Jordan, and the United States. So that's very exciting. So thank you especially to all those countries who are listening in and learning and sharing. Thank you. Thank you to our sponsor, Lightning Admin VA. Nap time is precious, but if you're spending it answering emails or fixing tech issues, it's not really a break. Cindy at lightningadminva.com can help. She's a virtual assistant who takes care of the behind-the-scenes business tasks, so you can use that time for the moments that really matter. Hey listeners, I would like to guide you to the show notes. If you scroll down below this episode, you will see links to the guest for today, as well as a valuable resource titled 5 Ways to Get Your Kids to Listen Better. I designed this resource because so many parents wonder why their kids don't listen well. So if you ever feel like your child just isn't listening, whether that's ADHD, speech or language delays, or just a busy kid with busy energy, I've got you covered. Grab the free guide, 5 Ways to Get Your Kids to Listen Better. It's simple, practical tips you can use right away, and it will land in your inbox for 6 consecutive days. I designed it this way so that you understand why you do what you do, not just telling you what to do, but to give you some really good foundations why, so that you can decide, is that for me? And is that for my kid? All right, let's get into today's episode with Misa Pignataro. Misa is a certified health coach, culinary nutritionist, and the founder of Misa's Clean Kitchen. After navigating her own journey with a picky eater who was diagnosed with failure to thrive, she became passionate about helping parents raise adventurous eaters without the mealtime battles. With 10 years of teaching experience, she shares practical tips, easy recipes, and real-life strategies to help you cook one meal the whole family will enjoy. You are going to love this episode. Welcome, Misa. So I love this, Misa, and thank you for being here today because so many families struggle with picky eaters.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Okay, so let's pedal back. Tell us about your child who was diagnosed with failure to thrive. How old were they? How did this happen? Because, like failure to thrive, I think of as infancy years, but can you talk about that?
Yeah. My daughter was 1 when she got diagnosed with failure to thrive. The doctor we were working with at the time suggested that we get her tonsils and adenoids out because she wasn't gaining weight and she had a constant runny nose. And so my mom suggested, let's just go see a naturopathic doctor and get a second opinion. This was almost 11 years ago, so I was not familiar with functional medicine and getting to the root cause of symptoms. So we learned that she had a slew of food sensitivity. She was sensitive to gluten and dairy and soy and corn and peanuts. Yeah, and I was nursing at the time, so I just had to do a total overhaul of everything that I was eating. And 11 years ago, you couldn't go to the store and get like good gluten-free crackers or muffins or bread. So I had to teach myself how to cook, and I just kind of dove in and realized that thankfully I could still enjoy food without all of these, without gluten and dairy. And my daughter's runny nose went away. We had missed that flavor window between 6 months to 18 months, which is an ideal time to introduce a variety of different vegetables and smells and textures, because she didn't start eating solid foods until she was 2. So she became a picky eater, and I just knew how important nutrition was at this time of her life. And I didn't want to have to wait and see if she would grow out of it on her own. And so I just dove in. I did a lot of reading and researching and listening and experimenting. And she's 10 now, almost 11. I've got 2 girls, adventurous eaters. They eat most things. They're willing to at least try everything. And didn't happen overnight, but I like to give everybody hope that if you have a picky eater, which many of us do, there's definitely hope, and there's so much that we can do about it.
Great. There's 2 things I'm thinking I want to ask right away. And first, did the food sensitivities go away once you got through that natural health path?
Yeah, some of them did. She can eat peanuts and soy and corn. We still don't do gluten and dairy, and she does have a sensitivity to food dyes. But a lot of them did go away.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
the other thing I want you to expand on that I don't often hear people talk about, and in fact, I didn't know myself that it was an actual thing. You said that there is a flavor window from 6 to 18 months where we are to introduce textures and flavors. Tell us more about that. I think that if a lot of people knew that, that would probably change the trajectory of family eating. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know it at the time either.
I've actually never heard
But
somebody say that, but it makes total sense to me.
yeah, there's this flavor window. And if you talk to parents with babies, most parents will say, my baby ate everything, because it's a time when babies are open to trying most anything. So it's really important to expose them to a variety of tastes and smells and textures, and ideally like bitter and sour, and ideally stay away from the sweeter foods, because we have that innate, we already like sweets. Breast milk is sweet, but we need to shape our taste buds to appreciate all the other flavors, the bitter, the sour. And so often when our babies turn 2, they learn the word no. And then all things go downhill. So it's like that window of time where they're open to everything, and they become more independent, and they want to show their autonomy, and they start saying no. And that's like the turning point, and how we navigate that is really important to ideally avoiding picky eating altogether.
Okay, so thank you for expanding on that 6 to 18 month flavor window. Now, let's say my child is 2.5 and they're saying, no, I don't want that. No, I don't like that. And I know with my own children and grandchildren that just because he doesn't like it at this meal doesn't mean he won't like it at the next meal or the next day or the next week. So, how do you deal with it then when your children are starting to say no and refusing to eat?
Yeah. Well, I think consistency is important, and just continuing to expose and model. It's easy for us to, like, say we serve broccoli 5 times, and then after the 5th time, we're like, okay, they're not going to like broccoli. So then we stop serving broccoli. And then we do the same thing with carrots. And then we do the same thing with another vegetable. But then before we know it, we've got this really small list of foods that our child likes, because it's just so easy the foods just keep dropping off. So it's important to continue to expose, to continue to be consistent, to continue to model, to enjoy foods, and to make it fun and enjoyable, and not this like pressure experience. It's all about curiosity and exposure. And even if they don't taste it, they're smelling it, they're touching it, maybe they'll lick it, maybe they'll kiss it. There's so many different ways to view exposure. So it's not like a loss if they don't eat it. It's like they're seeing it, and that's an amazing win. And we just need to celebrate the small wins, even if they're not actually eating it.
Sure. It sounds like exposure is play.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Play with your food.
Yes. Yes. I encourage play all the
That's
time.
great. Now, you're you have a way of having kids actually taste it without using the word taste and not having an instruction to taste with a tastometer. Would you tell us about the tastometer?
Yes. The tastometer is this tool. I used it today in my kids' cooking class, and we were making rainbow veggie sushi. And then I said, instead of saying take a bite, I said, tell me what you rate it, or tell me where it lands on the tastometer. So for younger kids, it could be a thumbs up, I love it, thumbs to the side, it's okay, I'll eat it, but I don't love it, and thumbs down, I don't like it yet. I always like to add the word yet to show that there's hope for the future and the importance of continuing to try, because our taste buds are always evolving. But it's just this fun, colorful tool for the older kids. You can rate it from 0 to 10. And at first, you can just use your sense of taste to rate it. But as your kids get older, you can have them rate the smell, the appearance, the texture. And then I use it as a tool, because you can gain so much from what the kids are rating it, to help you understand what your child likes and doesn't like, and textures, and just help you gain more knowledge about what their likes and dislikes are, and start to ask questions like, oh, why don't you like this? And then you kind of can gain some insight and patterns to help you in the future. So this tastometer is on my website that people can download. It's just a really fun tool. I've had parents over and over again tell me that their child just wants to try new foods to use the tastometer. Today in our cooking class, a parent came up to me and said, I couldn't believe my child tried peppers for the first time. She was 4, and it was the first time she tried a pepper. So I hear that a lot, of kids just trying new foods for the first time because it's fun, and because I'm not actually asking them to take a bite. I'm asking them to play a game.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that is the language that we can use to play, right?
Yeah.
That is so good. Now, you mentioned that, first, you mentioned on your website that our listeners can get that tastometer. And so, listeners, you will find in the show notes the link to that tastometer. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you, Misa, is about the textures you mentioned. Like, a parent is going to use the tastometer. They understand maybe the child's older. We see a pattern that they don't like, textures like oatmeal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How then would you help a parent to help the child to desensitize themselves to the textures that they don't like?
Yeah. Good question. Well, as an example for oatmeal, like if they don't like the mushiness of it, then you could play around with the consistency and make it more liquidy. Or you could bake it, do an oatmeal bake, and change the texture so they're still eating the oatmeal. It just is going to look different. Or you could do overnight oats. There's so many, once you find out that it might be a texture issue, maybe it's too mushy, there's so many different ways to serve oatmeal. It's just helping to get more clues and navigate the best way that your child will enjoy it.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about finding the way they do enjoy it, not actually about desensitizing.
Yeah. That's kind of out of my, I don't have a good answer for that.
Okay. Bad question. Yeah. Moving on. Another thing you say is to keep the adventure high and the pressure low. Talk a little more about that.
Yeah. Well, when we ask our child to take a bite or 2 bites, and then you can have dessert, or 1 bite and then you can go play, it creates this pressure. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not teaching our kids to listen to their innate hunger and fullness cues. It's teaching them just to ignore our signals, like that maybe we're full, maybe we're not. So, and we're eating the bite of broccoli, for example, because our mom or dad is telling us to, not because we want to make them happy. So ideally, I want my kids eating broccoli because they want to eat it, not because I'm making them eat it. So the adventure comes in. It's all about getting curious together. It's all about keeping it fun. There's so many different ways to do that, whether it's the tastometer or a blindfold game. Well, you're putting a blindfold on, closing your eyes and seeing if you can tell the difference between the 2 different color peppers, for example. Or the other day I was working with a client, and this 8-year-old boy, I was trying to figure out how to get some nutrients into him. He had no interest in smoothie bowls. He didn't want to help make the smoothie. So then I suggested, why don't we play a mystery ingredient smoothie game where we take turns making a smoothie and we try to guess the ingredients in the smoothie. And that was like, okay, he's in. And then he realized that he likes smoothies. So it's just, there's so many different ways to get in. It's just getting creative with how you get there. But I thought that was a good win. I was excited. Yeah.
That's a great win because in a smoothie, you can pack in a lot of nutrient in just a little bit of space.
Yes.
A salad will take your whole bowl, but you can grind it into a smoothie and get a whole salad in a kid.
Yes. I love smoothies. It's a
Yeah.
good tool.
I have a story that you're going to appreciate. My grandson is almost 4, and he wanted to use a sharp knife. And so his mom is thinking, well, you're kind of young for the sharp knife, but we'll let you do it. And so she gave him some vegetables to cut. And when he started cutting the vegetables, he wanted to eat every vegetable he cut. So
Yes.
she made this bin of vegetables and just kind of guided him. And he continued to keep on cutting and keep on cutting. And so she kept putting the bins of vegetables on the table. And throughout the course of the day, she's calling me back. He ate more. He ate every single vegetable. I had radishes in there and peppers and cucumbers. And he just keeps on eating the vegetables because he cut them.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it.
I love that. It's amazing. I mean, kids love knives. They love that responsibility of being
Yeah.
able to cut something and help out in the kitchen and feel good about it. It's a great way to build their self-confidence and feel like they're helping out and being part of the family. And
Yeah, he was really receptive too to not cutting his own fingers.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So that was,
that's great.
he understood the concept and it
Mhm.
was great. So he's now cutting the vegetables.
That's amazing. And as they grow, I mean, they can be so helpful in the kitchen and having to prepare all these different foods and meals. It's nice to have helpers. And at the beginning, when they're young, it does make more work on you. But, when they're older and they've been doing it for a while, it takes off, it helps you out in the kitchen and they know how to help prepare. And now my girls are 10 and 13 and they're helping make meals sometimes because they were doing it, from the start when they were just little babies.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's amazing how much kids can actually do in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I know that for me, when my kids were small, I was a single mom. And so we just depended on each other to be able to complete meals, to get the trash out, to whatever we do, the laundry, whatever we needed to do. It was a team effort because there was absolutely no way I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they did learn well how to work in the kitchen
Yeah.
at that point in their life. And then it kind of ebbs and flows as they're busy and forget things and now come back to things. And yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, depending on their age, you can have them wash lettuce. You can have them spin lettuce. You can have them grate carrots, peel vegetables, cut. I mean, there's so many different things for every age. You
They're
can
really,
really have them start young. And I love those learning towers that you can just push up to the island. Are you familiar with the learning towers that they
yes.
can stand on? It's like a safe way for them to be at eye level
Yeah, it's a
and
chair
watch
with four
you.
walls, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It's the best tool. It was such a good tool.
Yeah. Well, this is fantastic. Now, you have a mission to create healthy habits that last a lifetime. Um, but tell me a little bit more about that because I know that that is ultimately what we want for our kids is them to have healthy eating habits, nutrition, all of that for the lifetime.
Yeah, I just think it's so important. I was thankful I grew up in a health conscious home. And so when I went off to college, I did have this healthy foundation. And although I went off and I ate a bunch of junk and I felt terrible, I knew what it felt like to feel good. And I think so many of us are just used to feeling not great that we don't know what feeling good can feel like because we've never had that. So I think giving kids that healthy foundation, knowing that they know what it feels like to feel good, giving them the tools to navigate the kitchen. I think it's really important to learn how to cook so we can take care of ourselves and our loved ones. I think that's such an important skill to get them excited and interested in the kitchen when they're young. And I think just unfortunately, all these statistics are going up for our kids' health. Like kids are life expectancy is less than us, our parents now, and just all these chronic illnesses are going up, and many of them are due to diet and lifestyle related diseases. So I think that we have so much power in what we feed our kids. And it can feel overwhelming when we go out into the world. It feels like a constant battle. I feel like when we're going to schools and, soccer games and they're giving out popsicles and this and that other thing, but having control over what we create in our home and the environment that we create in our home with mostly nutritious, nutrient-dense foods, and teaching our kids to learn to read ingredients and just all these different skills so that when they do go off into the world, and they want to make healthy decisions most of the time, they know how to go to the grocery store, they know how to read ingredients, they know how to look at the added sugar and the protein, they know how to fuel themselves, they make that connection between what we eat and how we feel, how we fuel ourselves. I just think all of those things are so important.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. And I would even myself go so far as to say I believe that food is medicine.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. And I also want to comment that there's a lot of people nowadays that they don't know how to cook. They don't have an interest in cooking. I know that I've talked to people that run Airbnbs and other places like that where the kitchen is never used.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
it just like a microwave might be used, but the
Yeah.
kitchen isn't ever used. And and I know that for me, I've talked with some people and they say, "Oh yeah, I cook, but it's a microwave." So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. It was interesting. I was talking to one of my clients the other day and I was asking them how they prepare their vegetables. And they either do canned or they prepare it in like the microwave bags and just nuke it. So, that's just mushy to me. It doesn't taste good. And so I wouldn't like those vegetables either.
Well,
And
that's because
so,
you've had the contrast, though. If that's all
right,
you know, you might like them.
true.
But once you've had the contrast of real good, fresh food,
So I do help parents learn to prepare vegetables. I mean, some olive oil, some butter, some avocado oil, some salt. It goes a long way into preparing vegetables and making it taste good. And yeah, I think having some basic recipes under your belt is really important. I think our modern world is just not designed for health. Where running around, our kids come home, we run out the door to soccer, we grab a bar, then we go to another lesson and we're grabbing some popcorn, then we're going through the drive-through because we didn't have time to prepare dinner. And it's just like our lives are so busy. And unfortunately, sitting down and having family meals have often got lost in that. And so I think prioritizing family meals, not every day, but as many days as you can, and thinking on the weekends when you might have a little bit of downtime, how you can prepare for the busy week ahead, even if I often will prepare some muffins for like a grab and go snack or easy quiche for breakfast because my kids are out the door at 6:30 in the morning. So just thinking ahead of time where you can kind of get in some whole foods and prepare to make your busy weekday self thank you.
that's a good way to say it. Your busy weekday self will thank you for doing, and
Yes.
it's true. And it's
Yeah.
true. We all know what we feel like after several grab and goes
Yeah.
versus we have some of grandma's home cooking.
Yes.
It's a big difference.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Now you've got the tasteometer for people, and would you like to tell like a 30-second about your work, what you do? Because I think this is important.
Yeah.
Families
Thank you.
know that this is a possibility for them.
Yeah. So I offer a 12-week virtual coaching session, and I work with the parents on creating a positive mealtime environment, transitioning more to whole foods and fun and creative ways, taking the pressure away. And I do this through Zoom coaching and texting and just providing that one-on-one support, helping you navigate if you're at the grocery store or dinner didn't go well. How can I pivot? How can I do this differently next time? Helping people brainstorm and just create healthy habits together.
I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show. And before I let you go, I will ask you if there was one thing, just one thing a parent could do. There's 1,000 things we just talked about, and they're all great.
Yeah.
But if you were to pick one where a parent should start right now, what would be your word of advice to close with?
Yeah, I think mindset really matters. We haven't touched on this, but I think that it's important to not think of our kids as picky eaters, but to think of them as we're all just learning together. We're all trying new foods together. And I think that when we shift our mindset, we serve food differently, we approach things differently. Our kids are not overhearing us saying, oh, my child's a picky eater, because they internalize that. I've had kids come up to me in cooking classes saying, I'm a picky eater, I don't eat vegetables. It's like they internalize that, and it becomes this fixed mindset. And I think helping them to create a growth mindset around food and our taste buds always evolving and being open to trying new things is where we start.
Beautiful. Very, very well said. I love that.
Thank you.
Absolutely support that in every way. That's fantastic. Thank you for being here today on The Language of Play, Misa. I'm really glad that you shared your wisdom with the world.
Thank you for having me.
Hey parents, I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who also lives or works with children? I would really appreciate it if you would leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. I read every review, and it lights me up to know that this show is making a difference. Then come join my Facebook community, where you'll meet other parents who are dedicated to helping their children grow too. You'll find the link in the show notes. Thank you for joining me. Now it's time to go. Let's pop our kiddos in the strollers and go look around outdoors and see what we have to talk about.